America, also called the United States, is a large and strong country with 50 states. Its capital is Washington, D.C. People from many countries live in America, bringing different cultures and ideas. 100 words essay on America. The country is known for its freedom, rights, and diversity. Most people speak English, and they celebrate important holidays like the 4th of July. America has many famous landmarks such as the Statue of Liberty and the Grand Canyon. Children go to school, enjoy sports, and have fun with friends. In America, people work hard, help one another, and believe in big dreams and bright futures. KDLPD. www.kidpid.com. Download free educational resources and worksheets from kidpid.com. Country, America. Kuig side Taichfola Farat G Waitao GSH. EYEACR America is a large and beautiful country. It is known for its freedom, diversity, and opportunities. People from many parts of the world come to America to build a better life. The country has 50 states, each with its own culture and traditions. From the mountains of Colorado to the beaches of Florida, America is full of natural beauty and modern cities. America is also known for its inventions, education, and strong economy. Many famous universities and companies are found here. People work hard and believe in equality and justice. The American flag stands for unity and pride. Overall, America is a land of dreams where people can achieve success through effort and determination. America, also known as the United States, is one of the biggest and most well-known countries in the world. It is made up of 50 states, and each state has its own people, cities, and exciting places to visit. The capital of America is Washington, D.C., where the president lives and works in the White House. 200 words essay on America. The American flag has 50 stars, one for each state, and 13 stripes that represent the first 13 colonies. While most people speak English, many other languages are also spoken because people from many different countries live in America. This mix of cultures makes America interesting and full of new ideas. Freedom, fairness, and rights are very important in America. People can vote and have a say in choosing their leaders. Every year, on July 4th, Americans celebrate Independence Day with fireworks, food, and fun. Children in America to school, play sports like baseball and basketball, and enjoy spending time with friends. Families often visit amazing places like Disney World, the Grand Canyon, and Yellowstone National Park. America is a place full of hope and chances. People from all over the world come here to build better lives. It's a land where hard work, kindness, and big dreams are celebrated. KDLD. www.kidpid.com. Download free educational resources and worksheets from kidpid.com. Ivy Panda. American food, its history and global distribution. And easy. They could also hunt for the game meat. Some of the animals they hunted included the buffalo, wild turkey, and the bear. They could roast the meat and serve with a currant sauce, while the smaller pieces went into soups, stews, and pastries. Long 2015. They made their fats and oils from the animals they slaughtered. They also took wine, brandy, whiskey, rum, and beer. The American food distribution around the world. After the colonial period, many more foods came into being. The Rocky Mountain oysters and the peanut butter were some of the new developments. Although they remained regional and national, some of the new foods spread all over the world. They exported the popcorns and the skills of making the fried chicken, cornbread, and Dunleavy muffins. The Coca-Cola Company opened distribution points in other countries worldwide. Some of the American restaurants also opened other selling points in Europe, and this made them spread American cuisine worldwide. They could serve the hamburgers with the French fries, coleslaw, some ketchup, and chili sauce. Long 2015. The industrialization era affected the food industry, and there was a need for modernized ways of processing food. Restaurants were opening along the railroads, some were opening in the inning cars of the rail transport system. The learning institutions and the nutritionists started teaching new ways of food production using scientific means. The large-scale foreign aid during World War I enabled American food and standards to reach the European people. Ulva. 2015. There were both the upcoming and established researchers developing new knowledge about the food industry. It led to the writing of journals, newspapers, and magazines that taught people different types of food. The media was instrumental in exporting American food culture throughout the world. The corporate kitchens, such as the Green Mills and Kraft Foods, were instrumental in the research about food. The American style adopts the many cultural and ethnic ways of cooking and channels them into brand new styles. Some of the foreign foods that have become American due to this process are the Italian spaghetti and the German hot dogs, Schlosser, 2001. The Italian traditional pizza now varies with style according to its American modern and popular form. Many companies are now developing new products to simplify food preparation methods. It now becomes easier to prepare them. For instance, General Mills has been publishing a book called Betty Crocker's Cookbook since the 1950s that act as a guide for preparing meals. NPR.org, 2014. The rise of the cable channels brought about https ivpanda.com//American-food-its-history-and-global-distribution. Chapter 38. The Cooking of America. The History of Cuisine in North America. The Colonies. When the colonists came to Anserica, their initial attempts at survival included plantingerops familiar to them from back home in England. In the same way, they farmed animals for clothing and meat in a similar fashion. Through hardships and eventual establishment of trade with Britain, the West Indies and other regions, the colonists were able to establish themselves in the American colonies with a cuisine similar to their previous British cuisine. There were some exceptions to the diet, such as local vegetation and animals, but the colonists attempted to use these items in the same fashion as they had their equivalents or ignore them if thus it could. The manner of cooking for the Americancolonists followed along the line of British cookery up until the Revolution. There was a general disdain for French cookery, even with the French in South Carolina and French Canadians. Reinforcing the anti-French sentiment was the French and Indian War, from 1754 to 1764. This aroused a large anxiety against the French, which influenced the English to thither deport many of the French, or as in the case of the Acadians, they migrated to Louisiana. The Acadian French did create a large French influence in the diet of those settled in Louisiana, but had little or no influence outside of Louisiana. The American colonial diet varied depending on where the settled region. Local cuisine patterns had established by the mid-18th century. The New England colonies were extremely similar in their dietary habits to those that many of them had brought from England. A striking difference for the colonists in New England, compared to other regions, was seasonality. While in the southern colonies, they eat farn almost year-round, in the northern colonies, the growing seasons were very restricted. In addition, colonists' close proximity to the ocean gave them a bounty of fresh fish to add to their diet, especially in the northern colonies. Wheat, however, the grain used to bake breadhack in England, was almost impossible to grow, and imports of wheat were far from cost-productive. Substitutes in cases such as this included cornmeal. As many of the New Englanders were originally from England, game hunting was often a pastime from back home that paid off when they immigrated to the New World. Much of the Northern colonists depended upon the ability either of themselves to hunt, or for others from which they could purchase game. This was the preferred method for protein consumption over animal raising, as it required much less work to defend the kept animals against Native Americans or the French. Native meat and livestock. The most commonly hunted and eaten game included deer, bear, buffalo, bison, and wild turkey. The larger muscles of the animals were roasted and served with currant sauce, while the other smaller portions went into soups, stews, sausages, pies, and pasties. In addition to game, mutton was a project proposal is LKA, a plan you were to comps someone to support. A tunge your idea for a project. It exploits what the project is. WIS impotent. How you do. And how much WLL cost think of as a persuasive document that outins the who, what, where, when, why, and how of your project. S0 that others can understand and decide whether to GTHV the green BGHT. What is a project proposal? The length of a specific I. Paupita for exam purposes can vary, depending on the provided, by your instructor or the exam. Format. However, for a typical exam CUAON, a project proposal shall generally be concise and focused. A good rule of thumb is to aim for a 1 to 3 pages, but this can vary. Format. Here's a breakdown of what you might include in a concise project proposal. 1. TLE page. 1 page. This page includes the TLE of your proposal, your name, date, and AMI offer required information. 2. Introduction. 1 paragraphy. A. Brief introduction FAL provides an overview of the project and its impotence. 3. Project description. 1 to 2 paragraphs. C. Describe the project, TS objectives, and what you aim to achieve. 4. Methodology. 1 to 2 paragraphs. Explain how you plan to carry out the project, including any research methods, resources, or tools you WLL use. Timeline. 1 paragraph. Provide a simple timeline or schedule outlining keystones or phases of the project. Necessary expenses. 6. Budget. 1 paragraph. Estimate the budget for the project, inciting any. 7. Conclusion. I paragraph. Summarize the proposal and reiterate T significance. What is food culture? Food culture. Food culture can be defined as habits, rituals, practices, belief systems, values, lifestyle, traditions, and customs centered on growing, producing, procuring, cooking. Eating, serving, and celebrating food. Family history, lineage, heritage, and ethnicities, geographic divides, climates, social and political situations, such as poverty and wars majorly influence the food culture. The food culture is influenced by individuals or small networks and institutions, such as families, or large ones, such as societies, companies, and countries. Different food cultures. Some of the more popular food cultures around the world are Asian food cultures. Rice is a staple in Asian food culture. Hence, it is a quintessential part of the cuisine and can be found in all forms of food. Chinese, stir-fried veggies, and meat and a range of meats cooked with different sauces, and rice is a staple. Different regions in China, such as the Hunan, Fujian, Sichuan, and Cantonese have a different take on the same dish found throughout the country. Thai, the world-famous Thai green, red, and yellow cumis have made their place in the hearts of the population around the world. Their strong, spiced flavors and generous use of basil, kaffir lime, lemongrass, chilies, coconut milk, mint, cilantro, and turmeric add a pop of flavor to their cuisine. Their rice and zero odlis are equally famous. Japanese, sushis and sashimis are Japan's gift to the world. Healthy, bite-sized rice enriched and raw fish pieces work equally well as a quick lunch or a sit-down dinner. Chapter 21. Conclusion. Peter J. Atkins, Derek J. Oddy, and Peter Lummel. ICREFH's mission is to organize symposia and publications. This book is the 9th in the series aimed at understanding European food in all of its aspects, cultural, social, economic, political, as it has changed over the last 250 years. Our approach is avowedly international and interdisciplinary, and we regard this as a strength, since it gives our deliberations hybrid vigor. The coordination of scholarship is essential in any such enterprise, and we hope that the reader will have found a harmony of voices rather than a cacophony. In this short final section, we will not attempt to summarize the book's argument. Instead, this is a good place to lay out a number of thoughts on the future of European food history in the short term. The first is the somewhat dispiriting conclusion that the race still a need to argue the case for food history. Its neglect is due to the common observation that food lies in the realm of the everyday, and therefore it is in danger of seeming too banal for serious academic analysis. This applies at every stage of the food chain. including the invisibility of the restocking of supermarkets at night time, the de-skilling of kitchen tasks as we prefer to heat up ready meals in the microwave, and the modern lack of attention to family meals and the convivial enjoyment of food. There is always something more important to do than spend time on food. ICREF rejects the trivialization of this most fundamental aspects of life, and we strongly assert the importance of research on food history. In recent years, enthusiasm has been generated by food writers, cooks, and popular food historians, and we welcome the impetus they have given. However, we have some doubts about the understandable elitism of their emphasis upon recipes from superior cuisines. This sells magazines and cookery books and makes good television. But the selection of material is eclectic and tends to ignore, firstly, the inconvenient complexity of variations across space and of change through. It is understandable, perhaps, that not everyone shares our view. Critics of edited volumes of this sort usually complain of miscellany, but we have rather been accused of an alleged excess of unity of concerns, approaches, and interpretations. Sperry, 2005, 768.